Here we are, another week, pulling into Port Rubia. Greetings, Pirate Council. May our tall tales please you. When last we left our heroes, they had fled from the erupting fire giant stronghold, leaving it covered in magma and exploding with fiery hot rocks, leaving Knoll marauders to get away in their ships, newly bedecked with a white dragon sailcloth. But that's not important. What's important is the treasure we made, which was, of course, the friends we made along the way, and what treasure we do have weighing down their pockets and cargo hold. A number of prisoners rescued and being delivered to the Royal Navy sort of flagship port of Port Rubia. As the party's vessel glides into the bustling harbour of Port Rubia, the air crackles with anticipation and the scent of salt and sea spray fills their nostrils. The city sprawls before you, a sprawling metropolis of stone and timber, its towering spires and fortified walls a testament to its status as the crown jewel of the Ruby Khanate. The sounds of maritime activity echo through the air, the creaking of rigging, the shouts of sailors, and the rhythmic clatter of hooves on cobblestone as horse-drawn carriages traverse the bustling streets. Seagulls wheel overhead, their plaintive cries mingling with the cacophony of voices and the distant rumble of waves crashing against the seawall. As your vessel glides past the imposing stone towers of the harbour watch, you catch glimpses of the city's bustling docks. A hive of activity teeming with merchants, sailors, and craftsmen plying their trade amidst the towering stacks of cargo and bustling market stalls. At the heart of the city rises the grand citadel of Port Rubia, its soaring ramparts and fluttering banners a symbol of the Royal Navy's power and authority. Guards clad in polished red armour stand watch at the gates, their stern expressions betraying no hint of warmth or welcome. Yet despite the city's military bearing, there's a sense of vibrancy and life that pulses through its streets. Taverns and alehouses bustle with patrons, their raucous laughter mingling with the strains of lively music and the clinking of tankards. Merchants hawk their wares in bustling market squares, their colourful stalls overflowing with exotic goods from distant lands. As you dock at the quay, you're greeted by a throng of curious onlookers, men, women, and children alike, all eager to catch a glimpse of the newcomers. Some regard you with suspicion, their eyes narrowed and their lips drawn tight, while others, tentative smiles and nods of welcome. In the distance, the towering spires of the Admiral's palace loom majestically against the skyline, a silent sentinel overlooking the bustling city below. Here, amidst the hustle and bustle of Port Rubia, our session's journey begins.
Hell yeah. It's a really cool map.
It's so cool, you can zoom in so far. Also, I feel like it's been so long since we've been to, like, town.
Yes, it actually has. It's been ages. Hell yeah. Alright.
Let's get off this ship.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll take it into the dock.
Yeah, so I think you're directed to the sort of main merchant's docks. You don't get access to any of, obviously, the sort of marine docks over on the east side. And as you come closer, you're kind of waved into, there's sort of a free berth that you're able to get waved into. And I assume, Paul, you sort of get up on the prow and start haggling with the dockmaster about cost.
No.
No?
No, I whisper sweet nothings to him. I want him to love Captain Paulie with every fibre of their body.
So as you pull in, he tells you that there is a docking fee of 10 gold per day. A rather extreme, maybe not an extreme amount, but it perhaps is on the high side.
Absolutely. Can I panache him?
Would you just like to charm him in general?
Yes. Yeah, charm him. Charm the hell out
of him.
And
what are you aiming to get out of this in general?
Look, just a pal. You know what I mean? Like every dockmaster should love Captain Paulie and his crew, and they should be opening, like rolling out the red carpet for wherever we land.
Sure. Yeah, give me a persuasion check.
21.
Absolutely. So do you... I mean, before the ship even hits the dock, are you flying over there? Like, are you...
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hello there, my good man. How are you?
Very well, good, my goodman. This fine vessel is yours, is it?
It is. It's ETC percentage, just on loan quickly. Had a bit of a prior problem with the last ship. But Captain Paulie will be back up on his 2 talon claws in no time.
Perhaps, he says, trading company merchants, are you?
No, just for now. Just on loan to the ETC.
And how many days do you expect to be in port?
Don't really know right now, but look, I mean, I can trust this ship very easily. If the ETC can trust me, I'm certain I can trust. Sorry, what was your name again? I didn't catch your name.
Oh, god damn it. Let me find it. Let me find my names.
I'll always ask for the Wharf Master's name.
Yeah.
Quick name generator.
Mm-hmm.
His name is Giles Thelmond.
Wharf Master Giles. How do you spell that?
Giles. Thelmund.
Giles,
Thelmund.
Giles, my good man. Well, look, we might be here for a couple of weeks. Not too sure right now. We'll see how we go. But I'll pay, for at least 5 to 6 days in advance.
Mm-hmm.
If we're only here for 2, you can keep the change, my good man.
Oh, let me get the lads to throw the ropes over and we'll get you all squared away.
You're a good man. I'll give him 50 gold, but I'll put another 5 gold in his back pocket as I hug him.
Yeah. Yeah, good. And you're not subtle about it? You're like, is it...
No.
No, yeah.
No. I pat him on the bum afterwards.
He says, word to the wise friend. I can see you and your sometimes merchant crew are all, of course, law-abiding, upstanding citizens. But I'd be careful about throwing around a name like Captain Paulie. It's a little bit notorious in these parts.
Is it now? I'm actually looking for someone who's taken my name and made it of ill repute.
Then I'd speak to the Navy about that. But if you head past any square, you'll see bounty boards. There's nefarious pirates since the borders have been opened, and let me just say, perhaps until this is taken care of, you might want to go under a pseudonym. Wouldn't want a misunderstanding.
Well, no, Giles, you're a fair man. I understand that, mate. Look,
I know.
Right.
I know that you're... And I see looking
well,
at you,
how about you call
don't
me...
look like the man on the poster. I know it's not you, but if people hear the name, they might
I get
think,
it.
Yeah.
Yep, no worries. Look, I'll go under my brother's name, Captain Sawley.
Very good, sir. Anything to declare as you enter the city?
No, actually, we have some treasure we found because we did a mission for the Royal Navy, but we were given a writ into taking any of that by them. So happy to declare the treasure, but it is all ours.
Oh no! Well, if it's just treasure, of course the city welcomes you, friend. And he sort of signs a ledger and kind of rips off a sort of receipt for you, saying, nothing to declare. That kind of thing you get at the airport when you're just like, oh yeah, nothing to declare.
Perfect. And then I'll give him back his receipt, and there'll be another 5 gold that I palm to him with his receipt.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. All good folk, and these are all your crew, are they? Do you have?
They are, yes.
Now, do you have papers? We do have sort of an immigration port here. Just obviously, with the tensions running high recently, they will be checking papers for Aurora citizens just on the left-hand side, and if you're external, though, we do have a processing queue on the right.
Yeah, I was going to say I probably do. We don't have papers yet. We do looking for them. Definitely, we probably should get some papers.
Well, I mean, good friend. You said you were on work for the Navy. You said.
That's correct.
Well, perhaps we don't want to delay justice and delay these things. So let me see. Charles, can you? Yep. Here, lad. Yeah, can you take Captain Sawley here and his officers and just get them, expedite their time through the queue here. We just they've got important business.
Giles, you and I are going to be very, very fast friends. I can tell that, and I'm very happy about it. Let's have a drink later.
He sort of touches where he thinks his forelock should be at you, and
Perfect.
And there's sort of a young lad dressed in sort of crisp red overalls and suspenders. Still sort of like a singlet underneath. He's obviously sort of a runner lad for the docks. And whoever's coming with you can come with you. And I think the other people who are here, the prisoners or former prisoners, they sort of start queuing up in the citizens' queue to be processed and find out what they're doing with their lives.
Do we even bother knocking on the door with the tentacle sock on it that's got Karu and there's certain assassin in there?
I think. Yeah, yeah, is it a sock or is it like a really, really long? It's like a thigh-high sock, right? Like it's for the tentacle.
Yep.
I think you definitely noticed that Avalon, as you pulled into port, spent more and more time not on the deck of the ship.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll bang on Karu's door and be like, Karu, we're leaving the ship. Have fun.
Pick us up some crab legs.
All right. And then I'll look at Yama and be like, I've never been called an officer before.
Oh, and 3 dozen oysters.
Crab legs for Karu and 3 dozen oysters.
I'll yell back. I'm gonna yell back.
I'll be mentioning it.
Crab legs will be easy. Oysters, maybe not. Also, aren't you a fish person?
You hear Avalon, like in kind of like a muffled yell back. Aren't you able to just teleport the fuck away?
No.
Now we know Killian's the middle child.
Hey, what do you guys do? Can I come? What are you guys doing? Just banging on the door.
We're wrestling. You're not proficient.
No, I don't know. I got a spell for that one.
Let's go, Killian.
I'm gonna start like fucking around with like a lockpick.
Yeah.
Just like, and then everyone audibly hears the lockpick snap. And I'm like, I don't want to waste magic on this. This isn't fun anymore. Have fun, guys. I'll bring you back some Gatorade.
Very good. Cool. Yeah, good. Maddie's definitely proficient in snake wrestling. So you make your ashore. You're expedited through. Sort of, you get to kind of skip the queue a little bit. Charles has a bit of a chat, hands over a piece of paper to the sort of immigration guard, like sort of at the end of the dock there, and you're let proper into the main heart of the city. There's the scent of ale and hearty meals filling the air, mingling with the warmth and camaraderie of lively city folk. This is clearly sort of a bustling, well-organized city. There is obviously that sort of overbearing military bearing. There's sort of not guards on every street, but you do see sort of men in uniform sort of patrolling or wandering around in uniform. And everyone seems just, really positive. The streets are relatively clean. And even this dock area just seems a lot less filthy than perhaps some of the places Paulie has woken up.
which makes me
Feel
want to leave.
like I wonder if Yama's even kind of really been to like a city like this. I feel like even since he's left the Hobgoblins, he's probably actually kept to like smaller villages just because he's a Hobgoblin. People tend to run. And yeah, so maybe he's just like staring wide-eyed and bowing respectfully to every single officer that walks past, as if he doesn't understand.
I can make you look like a really big human if you'd like.
I like, and he's kind of looking at the like diverse. I think it's actually okay. I think I'll be
Alright.
okay.
What about
But
you,
it's a
Captain? Would
lot.
you like to look like a snail?
No,
That's all I can do for you. I'm sorry. I can't turn you into a human.
I don't want to be a human or a snail. I'm very, very proud of my Aarakocra roots. Thank you very much.
Okay, fair enough.
As
And
you
then
say,
I turn into a half elf.
yeah. So yeah, there are. You don't see any other goblins or hobgoblins, Yama, but you do not. It's not. I think. Are you sort of wearing your full armor, or are you in sort of a more casual clothes, or?
I think he has like I don't know if it's a suit kind of armor where he can wear like almost half of it and then just have it covered by like a kimono, which is probably like navy blue and red, so he's not quite so shiny.
Yeah.
But he is still wearing most of his armor.
Yeah, and you've got the swords in the belt, and there's at least one pauldron, I imagine, and half a chest plate or something, and some. Yeah.
That's exactly the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. So
but his hands are like grief-free kind of vibe. Yeah.
Yeah. So people see that, and perhaps they get out of your way. They don't look scared per se, but just more like respectful. Like, here is obviously some kind of, maybe some kind of, you're not sure if they see you as like a wealthy merchant or some sort of like honor guard. Obviously, the gold is a big, is big and bright. You do see the occasional, person maybe in like ones and twos that do have that kind of like white with kind of gold trim that you perhaps associate with the Golden Guardians. And there's a possibility that you're kind of getting lumped in with them a little bit. People treat them with respect, but kind of give them plenty of space.
Cool. All right.
Paulie, well, I guess all of you, as you're kind of wandering around, taking the sights and smells.
Can I give Charles a cheeky gold coin too?
Yeah, absolutely. He stands at super attention when you hand that to him, and is just like, "Oh, thank you, sir. Is there any directions you need, or can I take your bags, or?"
Yeah, actually, we need to go talk to the Admiral. Or just the Navy in general, really. Just got to hand in this little notice saying that we destroyed the fire giant pirate threat.
Yes, sir, of course, sir. Please, wait right here. And he kind of motions to a sort of like outdoor cafe, restaurant kind of place. And then as you sort of take your seats and he's flagged down one of the bar staff, he just takes off running at top speed all the way like round...
Love it.
To get to the closest naval, officer base.
Love it. Coffee, anyone?
Coffee, no. I'll come with you though.
I can ask for the tea
Tea
selection.
would be good. Yeah, tea. Yeah.
Can I just give like the old like I don't want to be rude. Like intrusion thing, be like the hey, like the thing you do with waiters.
Absolutely. They have. So the inn it's called the Knave and Cup, and one of the this sort of halfling kind of walks out to you and says, good afternoon. Good morning, sirs. My name is Edward. I'll be your server today. And he's got sort of this sort of golden hair, dark eyes, and he's actually like pretty well dressed. This seems to be sort of a pretty expensive merchanty part of town.
Hell yeah.
May I read you the specials?
Give him a crack. Why not?
We have it's a bit early in the morning, but we do have roasted phoenix with walnut bread and a glass of whiskey. We have boiled eggs, dried lentils, and perry. Roasted goose with mustard, whey cheese, and rum, or smoked sausage, acorn bread with beer.
Killian's just gonna like pipe in here and be like, how does one roast a phoenix?
With skill, sir.
Well,
Okay,
there's
fair
three.
enough.
There's 3 options, and there's 3 of us.
Nah, I'll just take some. You don't happen to have any coals, do you?
Well, I'm sure we can arrange that, sir. Any particular wood origin you'd seek?
Oh no, I'm not that fussy. Just three coals, and do you have any?
I think we have
I
think we could maybe throw together a maple cedar medley if you like.
Well, that would work for me. And being quite early in the day, have you got any sort of like a tomahawk steak? You don't need to cook it.
I'm sure we can, sir.
Okay, sounds good. How much do I owe you for that?
So
Ballpark.
for the coals and the steak, it'll be 5 silver.
Hell yeah. We're getting the 3. You keen to share 3 specials? Yama, how hungry? How hungry are you feeling?
Hells yes, I am.
Some food? All right, done. We'll get the 3 specials to share between the 2 of us.
Okay. So the 3 specials, he offers. Tea just like comes out with it, or like one of those like little trays with like tea and coffee, and milk and stuff.
Perfect.
And so it's another 5 silver for each of you.
Nice.
No worries at all. That's worth it.
So you get the roasted phoenix with walnut bread, the boiled eggs and dried lentils, and the roasted goose with mustard and whey cheese.
A lot of bird. That's okay.
It is a lot of bird.
Killian, when the eggs come out, he'll smell them and be like, "This reminds me of home somewhat. It smells sort of like sulfur. Do you mind?"
You,
No.
you wanna eat- yeah,
Absolutely.
He's
Yeah.
gonna grab an egg and like eat it and be like, "It's not quite the same, but it
Yeah, these are like
does remind me."
these are not rotten egg smelling. They're too fresh.
Yeah.
go.
But they still have that like light tinge that like
The
his
underlying
devil nose is
sulfur.
picking up on.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, "Ooh, yeah, reminds me of home." It's nice. Didn't think that, city like this, I'd find something that would remind me of home. That's why I went for the coal and raw meat on the bone.
So yeah, there's a sort of a nice inn. You're sort of there eating, slowly, leisurely watching things patrol by. Is there anything you're keeping an eye out for in particular, or I could just leave you to have some time to discuss while I get a drink?
Yeah. I mean,
Talk
I
amongst
feel like Paul would be looking at how like hurried like the other merchants are. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. But how nice is this? This is bloody lovely.
This is pretty good. I tell you what, it's nice to have a hot meal. That's for damn sure.
Yeah. Look,
A bit sick
Yeah.
of dried meats.
yeah. Killian just casting fireball on our dried meats wasn't really the same as the
What? Hey, I never
Just
cast a
heating them
fireball
up.
on your dried meats. I can make a campfire.
on a chip.
yeah, shit.
Yeah. We just need a metal plate to put on underneath it.
Well,
But
maybe we should buy one of those while we're in town.
yeah,
Yeah. No fires on the ship. No fires on the
That
ship,
giant
Killian.
shield that we found.
Yeah, no.
Oh,
I can
no,
use
we're
No.
gonna sell that. I think that's worth money.
Yeah. No fires on the ship,
What-
Killian.
All right. Well, can we just get like an old stove that doesn't work anymore, and then I can start a fire inside the stove?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good idea.
That's right. We're not looking to
Figure
make
that
any
out.
improvements on the ETC percentage. We've got La Floridita. We need to find
Oh
some
no, don't worry.
information.
We'll find a stove, right? And then I'll
Mm.
transmute it into like wood, and then we can just take it with us when we're done with the ETC percentage.
I like that.
It'll make it lighter. Yeah, we're not gonna we're not gonna make their ship better.
Good. Exactly.
by
No,
any
I
means.
don't think I
can also
like them.
turn anything on their ship into wood, and we can steal that too.
We definitely plan on saying hello to a lot more ETC ships in the future.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. And at this point, Killian like grabs a lump of coal and just like
Yeah, it's like a slow roasted wood coal. Like this isn't your dug up from underground charcoal. You know, the coal. This from that you would get in dwarves in the mines. This definitely has a more organic kind of taste to it. This is. I think even the waiter Edward would tell you that this wood was shipped in from charcoalers, wood burners, and they spend at least 24 hours watching this buried underground, turning the wood into charcoal. So guaranteed 100% organic.
I'll say my compliments to the chef. Not that you really, but you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
This is very good. I can feel the nutrients already.
It's giving Demon Slayer flashbacks.
While you're here as well, you do see that this obviously sort of brightly lit in sort of the morning light. There is a sort of tiled mosaic wall, and it's sort of a perhaps even coincidental based on where you have just been, but there's sort of a big volcano made of sort of red tile, sort of red and brown tile, and overlaid on that is the figure of almost like sort of within the volcano itself, sort of a beautiful woman with long hair, and there's a sort of a plaque to describe the scene, and it says Amanda Lee, goddess of volcanoes. You also asked about sort of what is the town looking like. There's no one seems to be in a particular. There's sort of the regular hustle and bustle of
The merchant port.
of merchant porting. The Navy, general rank and file, and officers appear to be in no real rush. They sort of just march around as they do. And yeah, there are a few that appear to be on some kind of shore leave, but they appear to be on very well behavior, especially in this city.
Yep.
And you do spot a sort of on one of the walls, sort of opposite the cafe where you're looking out from, is what appears to be a bounty board. They've got a bunch of wanted posters that have been stuck up.
Can we maybe peruse the
Yeah,
bounty board?
absolutely.
I'd love to see if there's any anything that rings true for us. Maybe something that mentions fire giants, or something that mentions bandits in this area, and something to stay away from. Anything that kind of speaks to us and our adventures, maybe.
Well, the first thing that definitely stands out would be the you see a wanted poster for a sort of black-haired man with a big hat and sort of a big feather in it, and it says Captain Zord of the Eye Catcher, wanted for smuggling, grave robbing, piracy, and then there's other things in perhaps smaller text, and known associates with the Heartbreaker and the Hellraiser.
Anyone you know of?
And I think his
Captain?
wanted price is maybe 10,000 gold.
Can I have a look at
Whoa.
the bounty list and see if there's anyone I know?
Yeah, you your eyes are gravitated to a Captain Pauly.
You son of a bitch!
What's the price on that one?
What's the photo like too?
Yeah, so
It's better be a good photo.
It's a 3,000 gold bounty,
Ew.
and it's very you see it. It looks like it's got a bird beak and sort of a big pirate hat. Because because it's obviously been drawn, right, from descriptions. So it is very bird-like, but you can tell that this kind of bird face is like one of those doctor masks someone is wearing.
Right.
And it's like Captain Paulie the Parrot, wanted. Captain of La Floridita, piracy, gun running, smuggling, general disrespect, pro-union sympathies, those kind of things.
All good things. Why are they problems?
You ask the poster, it does not reply.
I take it off. I take it off the bounty board.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah, keep it in your pocket.
Yeah.
Hanging on the ship.
It's very clearly not you, right? But it's but you can see, based on what you know, you can definitely see who this really is.
At seeing that, I'm gonna like look around. Is there like a bounty office?
Sure. Yeah. There's like a naval office.
I'm gonna walk over and just be like, "Oh, I was perusing your I was perusing your bounties out there in the square. I'm interested in that bounty of La Floridita. Do you know where that ship was last? Like, whereabouts it was last seen?"
We're gonna ask the Navy anyway.
Yeah. They look up at you and say, "Oh, bounty hunters, huh? It's not our job to do it for you. We're paying you to do it."
All right. Well, what was your name?
My name is Tepper.
Tepper. And then I'll what branch number is this?
Oh my god, he's gone full Karen.
Yeah.
Carillion. He's Carillion.
This is the Connigs branch.
Connigs branch. Okay, fair enough. Well, that will either be important or it won't. Have a good day, and I'll just walk out.
Yep. Very good.
You didn't want to speak to the manager first, or nothing? No.
No.
Okay.
I'll go to the manager's boss's boss. We have an in with her. But he'll also just forget about it. He was just being a dick. I'm putting the fear of God into that guy.
Did you want to try and intimidate this person so that they know that you're putting the fear of God in them, or do you just walk out?
I'll just be like, well, I'm going to see the Admiral, so I'll ask her. Stay up. And just walk out.
He raises an eyebrow at that, but as you leave, he gets back to his paperwork.
I've got him pushing too many pencils.
Is this saved? Yep. So the other poster, the one was worth 10,000. The man looks like this. Oh wait, show place. There we go.
Oh, he handsome. What was his name again?
Zardor, Captain Zord.
I want his.
Captain.
I'm gonna look at Paulie and be like, "We need to go after that guy. I want his hat."
I mean, I get it. It's a nice hat.
Yeah, really cool hat.
And he is the captain of the Eye Catcher.
But where on Faerun is Captain Zord?
We're not in Faerun. Well, oh yeah, we're on Faerun. We're not in the Forgotten Realms.
Yeah. No, that was more of a Carmen Sandiego.
Oh,
He's
okay.
wearing a lot of red.
Yeah. Yeah, he does look like Carmen Sandiego. Cool. So you're there for another hour or so. You've got a bit of time. You know, you're just sort of waiting, potentially waiting for word back, or maybe these Marines aren't very hurried.
Is there a
Hold on, hang
magic
it.
shop in this square? I'm just gonna go have a look around, do some window shopping.
Sure. Yeah, I think there's
While we wait.
I'll hang around. I'll just hang around and have coffee while I wait.
there's certainly sort of general kind of merchants that have sort of low level, maybe low level magic stuff. You could probably find something, it'd be relatively easy to find common things, uncommon things. You may need a bit more time or to know the right people to kind of get rare stuff. Anything in particular you're looking for or looking to sell?
Quick. Have a quick gander. Well, I do have a couple of oils and a dust.
To sell?
I got I might as well sell them. The dust of sneezing and choking.
So you give me a investigation check.
Oh yeah. 26.
So you spend a bit of time. You find a small sort of alchemy shop that is happy to buy those off you. Buy the dust off you for 300.
Sounds good.
And the oil of slipperiness also for 300.
All right, sounds good. I'm gonna liquidate those because them.
Sure. And a very good day to you, my elven friend.
Oh, like for a second, he'll be like, "Oh, yes, you too." And then see if he can find like a collector.
Mm-hmm.
A strange guy that likes collecting things of the sea, and be like, "I found this trident. This is a regular ass trident."
Okay.
But he's like, "I found this trident at the bottom of the ocean in a sunken town. It was just in the corner, It was sitting on a rack. It's the only one there. Could be quite valuable to the right buyer or collector."
Yeah, you find Lewin. Lewin. She's elvish. Lewin. Sort of trader in curios and curiosities. Should have got golden hair, hazel eyes. Her wearing sort of travel stained clothing, despite being in this, indoors in this shop. And also, wearing a wide-brimmed hat, despite being sort of indoors in a shop. She takes a look at it and has a bit of a look. She says, "From the bottom of the sea, you say?"
Yeah.
Now, remind me, the DM, where you got this.
It was on the island with the fish people.
Okay. Was it from a fish person or from the tomb? Or?
It was in the tomb.
Okay. Yes, interesting. And she kind of looks at it and says, interesting markings here. Yep, they're definitely pre-common. I can see some early elvish here. Interesting. I'd be happy to take that off your hands for... What's she gonna look? For 10 gold.
Sounds good to me. You can have that for 10 gold.
Very good, sir. And you see her kind of polish it once, put it on a rack, and you see her put like a sign in front of it straight away saying 100 gold. Trident of the ancient waves. Heirloom to the divine kingdom.
Figured that's what was going to happen, because that's why I was trying to upsell it as well, because that was a basic ass trident worth 5 gold.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, "Well, so you're a shrewd businesswoman too."
Yes.
So basically, yeah. And I'll like look over the shop and using my well-traveled eyes. Does anything stand out to me?
Give me an Arcana check.
When it do?
Yeah, it's all crap. It's like
Yeah.
none of this, despite
yeah.
being labeled as incredible, magical, you know, it's all like just, it all looks interesting. And like to a layperson, this is this could be a treasure trove of magic, especially based on the prices she's selling these at. But you instantly discern that all of this is pretty mundane. Some of it is well crafted, sure, but most of it is old.
Yeah, I'll take one look at her and be like, "You get many sales in this city?"
Yes, the nobility. There's quite a number of collectors among the upper ranks, and having
so that's what we're calling idiots nowadays.
They're talking pieces, you know. Treasures secured from great foes, gifts that gifts of some, treasure obtained by slaying a great beast. When you need a quick gift so that you can save face when meeting your superiors, you come to me.
Yeah. All right. Fair enough. Well, all the best. Look, I don't need anything here. But yeah, if business is good, enjoy the markup on that trident. I'm guessing I will probably be back through town, so I'll find you some hawking pieces, as you called them. Maybe we can go into business.
Nanalune eranoth.
Yes.
Yes.
I just walk away.
Does Killian understand Elvish?
No, he does not.
I love that.
And I think when he turns around, his concentration wavers just a little bit, and his tail like pops back in and then disappears again. And
Yeah.
I'd like to think that she catches that, and she's like,
Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Lovely.
and I'll make my way back over to Paulie. After picking up a bottle of water, because I'd like to think it's quite warm.
It is. It is quite sort of summery here. Especially with the sort of a lot of sort of white brick, a lot of reflecting light. Obviously, you're used to sort of hotter temperatures, and perhaps a drier heat. But there's sort of a bit of a humidity to this place that perhaps you're not as used to. Very good. Yama, are you spending a little bit of time shopping as well before, or are you kind of waiting around with Paulie?
I think maybe Yama's just. Oh, actually, you know what? Maybe Yama goes to like an armory while he's waiting.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone selling? Yeah, maybe like a blacksmith or like someone actually selling armor. That's fine too. Anything like that?
Yeah, there's certainly smiths and armorers stores in this part of town. This is obviously the sort of merchant district close to the docks. So yeah, you follow the sound of clanging hammers on metal and anvil until you find what you're looking for.
Well, maybe he's looking for a blacksmith who's using a bit more like runic design, maybe a little bit of magical flair in the items.
Mm-hmm.
Does that exist here?
Why don't you give me an investigation check?
Alrighty. +0. Let's do it. A 5.
When you follow the sound of that clang clang, you kind of wander accidentally into a training yard, and it's actually just people dueling. They're sort of people training, and the undercut that you thought you could hear of like hammer and anvil is a farrier shoeing a horse.
Okay. Well, maybe then Yama gets distracted immediately from his original plan, and he goes over to the people who are sparring and bows of politeness to maybe somebody who's standing by and watching, and any chance of getting in on the action? I'd love to pick up some tips or training. The native.
Do you direct that to sort of the younger trainees, or like the sergeant who's kind of running them through the drills, or do you?
I'd say like a elderly sergeant, maybe someone more around Yama's age who looks like they're directing things, maybe a bit more.
Yeah, you see a sort of certainly like a non-commissioned officer who's got a lot of years under him, has been barking like a true soldier at these trainees, and he's a little bit rotund, bright red, much like his uniform, not as red as your skin, but you can see he's got the bright red of either someone who maybe drinks too much or spends too much time in the sun, or both. But by the way he's standing, you can tell that this isn't a man just to be trifled with. Like this, you don't get to this age on the high seas unless you know what you're doing.
Care for a bout?
He looks at you and like looks you up and down, looks at the swords, and says, "Well met, sir. Will we be using the Marquis of Fantaylor dueling rules?"
I am unfamiliar with such rules, but happy to learn something new. Always keen for a new skill.
They're for the nobility anyway. And he sort of claps his hands to get everyone to kind of pay attention and move out and kind of create some space in the sort of sand-covered. There's a bit of softness on the ground due to sand. It's not just cobblestones or whatever in the yard. And why don't you describe to me how this duel would go from Yama's point of view cinematically?
He's on the defensive for sure. He's like watching with his like general and instructor eyes, his years of leading troops and teaching martial arts and stuff, but he is trying to pick up some tricks, I guess, from this seasoned soldier so that he can learn something new.
Mm-hmm. Well, he kind of stands in sort of a bit of a power stance. He draws a long sword and sort of sets his feet. And as you sort of adjust your stance and raise your blade, he kind of takes that in and sort of he adjusts his stance slightly and like moves his blade slightly. And there's this sort of long moment of tension where you're just kind of feeling out each other's. Like these are two old soldiers, who don't rush in. And there's almost that kind of who will move first kind of thing.
I love that so much.
Fools rush in.
Yeah. And as he shifts his weight slightly to get into a different stance, like you perhaps like change your stance to kind of counter that, and you're ready for his attack, and then he moves his stance slightly, and then you hear the sound of like a bell ring. And as that happens, he rushes forward at you with uncanny speed for an old sort of wider fella. Let's roll a sort of contest.
Awesome. Yeah, so he rushes
sick.
in, and Yama's just gonna come like down basically and try and go for like the shoulder or something to make him like maybe lose grip on the sword. What should I roll? Athletics?
I think just roll your attack roll. I think this is...
an attack roll. Cool, yeah. Cool. Let's do it. Oh no, it's a 6 for a 14.
So he lunges forward and you kind of get the blade up, but he... that was a feint, and he kind of slides it in underneath, spins the blade slightly, and kind of knocks you back a bit, so you end up taking a step or two back. And he's you can see like his eyes sparkling a little bit in glee, but nothing given away on the face.
Yes, awesome.
You want to roll? He thoroughly handled your defense there and has got you on the back foot. In fact, he got a 21.
Wow!
We're going to go again.
Awesome. So Yama, getting kind of knocked off balance, he maybe shuffles back a couple of feet and then comes in at the side of this soldier.
Mhm.
Let's see what happens. Oh my god, it's a natural 2 for a 10.
Yeah, I think we'll call it best 2 out of 3. You step to the side, but perhaps your your ankle, your bad knee, you hear it click.
The bad knee.
And he
Not
comes
again.
in and sweeps your blade to the side, and is able to kind of get the blade in at your sort of in your side. Obviously, doesn't pierce you with it, but is just kind of like holding it against sort of a vital part of you. But he has that level of control where he stops, and you can see that he's also panting like this. It was tough, like it certainly wasn't a sure run thing. And he kind of steps back and puts his sword away, and says, "Well met, sir. Very well done. My name is Orbjorn Halferson."
Orbjorn, as Yama sheaths his katana and steps forward, Yama like takes his hand. What was it? Orbjorn? I already
Orbjorn.
forgot. Orbjorn, well met indeed. Quite well handled. I have learned a lot. I'm grateful for the bout, and I'm sure these young ones are glad to have you.
The honor is mine, sir. For any lesson that I can, any time that I can teach a lesson to these young whelps, in that their old sergeant isn't over the hill yet. Formidable footwork. Where did you pick up that skill?
From the west. I am from the western steppe. The hobgoblin armies are quite formidable.
So
I
I've
no longer
heard.
follow
I've
their ways.
not had the opportunity to meet any yet, though. I thankfully hear we will not be meeting them in battle, but perhaps side by side.
I do hope that is true. I unfortunately do have word of a hobgoblin armies massing in the west, so I do hope that we stay on the same side. I certainly hope to head them off before they reach such a beautiful town.
Well, if any of them is half as skilled as you are, sir, I'm sure we'll be enforcing the prince's peace alongside them in no time at all.
The Prince's Peace, indeed. Do you speak of the volcano throne?
Indeed, it has become somewhat lawless of late, but fear not. The royal Khans will rise up. The Royal Navy will not shirk against any challenge. The Admiral will be holding things together and keeping law until perhaps a new regent can be seated.
Indeed, I certainly hope so. I've had the pleasure of meeting the Admiral. And
you've met
a few of the
genuine
believe
royalty
so.
he is.
Royalty, true. A relation of the volcano throne.
The prince's uncle.
The prince's uncle. Wow, I had no idea.
But, you met him?
I actually have no idea, Dan, because I know there was that episode where I wasn't here. No, okay. Well, no, but I am planning to, hopefully today.
So you met Rear Admiral Leah Sunsparrow on the beach with Tempura, and you've met Vice Admiral Marquis Ramon Rezal when you first
on the ship,
came into
right?
these waters.
Yeah.
Yes. You have not yet met Admiral Armand, uncle to the prince.
Admiral Armand. Yes. Hopefully we'll be meeting him today, or perhaps one of his counselors.
Very good, sir. Well, and he kind of hands you a towel, perhaps.
You might be of assistance to me if I might ask. I am looking for a blacksmith, perhaps somebody who works with some arcane magics.
We have... I have connections with the quartermasters and, of course, some of the merchants here. What in particular are you looking for?
I'm actually hoping to facilitate a sale of some giant items equipped with some nice magics that might be reworked into a more human size.
Mm-hmm. Well, arcane magics are the specialty of the university, but I can certainly put some feelers out and see what we have. Working giant work items, very costly, but I'm sure a man of your means, that means nothing.
Sure. I do hope to have your help in this. Perhaps you can put in a good word for me.
Well, of course, if you haggle half as good as you hold the blade, then I'm sure you'll get away with a steal.
Flattery, Obi-Wan. Anyway, I look forward to seeing you again.
All right. It's about that time that Killian and Yama kind of wander back. It's maybe been a couple of hours, and where's my notes? Here we go. You hear the kind of the marching of boots on the bustling streets as sort of a squad of 6 Marines kind of march up to you. And once one of them steps forward and says, "You have been summoned by Rear Admiral Sunsparrow. Please fall in line."
We did.
Everyone's here.
Yep, everyone's wandered
we're
back.
Let's go.
Right. So you're
Is
escorted.
it Charles who brought it too? Sorry.
Yeah, so Charles is gonna come running along with them.
Great. I'll give him another gold.
All right. He beams. And says, should I wait here, sir, or...?
You know what? You can come with us as our escort. I think it'd be good for you to see some of this stuff.
So he'll tag along a little bit behind.
Yeah, I like Charles.
As you're escorted through the streets, you end up taking a small boat across the bay to the sort of major the palace kind of area. And you're taken off to, not through the main halls, but sort of to one of the side buildings. And it's still sort of a resplendent kind of office. As you approach it and you get closer, you can't help but feel sort of a sense of anticipation, perhaps even apprehension. The air is thick with the weight of expectation, and the muted sounds of activity from within the citadel only serve to heighten your senses as you're led through this sort of nice polished floors, sort of large apartments behind these great walls and towers, and you're ushered and asked to take a seat in this sort of like antechamber room outside a main office. Minutes turn into what feels like hours as you sit around in this room. There's books and windows and
are there like
tables
books
and
about like naval stuff? And just in this, I'm assuming that would be the case.
A lot of it looks to be like naval stories. Nothing that looks.
Do any of them have pictures?
I think you find a picture book of Heraldry's Herald, which is sort of like pictures of the noble families, and a lot of like there's words about some of their great stories. You can ignore that, but just lot of very stuck-up looking people that have posed for portraits in
boring,
resplendent, like a lot of it obviously like red, that kind of admiral armor, admirals, captains, lieutenants, etc. And a lot of them have that there's certainly like a volcano theme or a phoenix theme. There's sort of a very fiery kind of theme behind a lot of these different families.
Killian will be pacing back and forth and then like say to Paulie, imagine summoning us and then making us.
Yeah, look, it's just all
I'll
part of the
move.
fun. It's fine. You know, read books. You read books, don't you?
Yeah, I feel like I've read half the books here already.
I mean, that means there's another half you haven't read.
Why don't you try reading a book?
No.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Finally,
But I
sorry.
will look down at the book that Paulie's like flipping through, and I'm gonna like commit the nobility that are in there that look like they're of an age where they could be like still active.
Sure.
I'm gonna commit them to memory in case I do meet them.
Sure. Well, I say, the main one that you see in there is perhaps a young Admiral Armand. That he's got like the biggest chapter, of course, because he's the head of the Navy. And someone has written this like very flowery about the man. There stands a figure of authority and gravitas, a man whose very presence commands respect and instills a sense of awe in all who behold him. Admiral Armand is a figure of strength and resolve, his steely gaze betraying the sharp mind with the edge of a cutlass and a will as unyielding as the ocean's depths. His lineage traces back to the throne itself, his noble bloodline a banner of authority, a reminder to all who dare challenge his leadership that he is both heir and protector of the realm. Yet, beneath the mantle of royalty lies a man of practicality and pragmatism, a seasoned tactician who understands the complexities of politics, warfare, and nobility alike. And it's just like very blowing smoke up his ass kind of language.
And Killian's gonna look at Paulie and be like, "So you enjoying that edition of Women's Weekly? That's just a puff piece about the guy."
I'm just imagining too, like it's like actually like that one page also folds out, so there's even more. You know,
roll case attached to the back of it and just rolls down.
And it's one of those like Vanity Fair pieces. Like on the next page is like him sitting on a chair, still in full uniform, but with like a glass of wine on the table next to him. Despite his stern demeanor and unyielding resolve, Admiral Armand is not without his softer side. A lover of fine wines and epic tales of adventure, he finds solace in the simple pleasures of life, relishing the rare moments of respite amid the chaos of war and politics. Yet make no mistake, beneath his affable exterior lies a heart of steel, unafraid to make the difficult decisions necessary to ensure the safety and prosperity of the realm.
I really hope someone writes about me like this one day.
I really hope I can find something to read to push all of that out of my brain. That was I know way too much about this guy now. This is just weird. I don't like this anymore.
In the annals of history, Admiral Armand's name shall be remembered as a beacon of strength and leadership in a time of uncertainty, a man whose unwavering dedication to duty and honor shaped the fate of Aurora for generations to come.
All right. Well,
I can't believe you had that prepared.
Oh, yeah.
That's wild. I'll point out to Paulie, I'm like, it says that his lineage dates back to the throne. So, like, a long time ago, someone fell out of a chair, and now they're royalty.
All his eyes glaze over.
Where are the pictures?
I'm saying a chair gave birth, Paulie. They're chair people.
I like that. Chair people. He got me with the chair people. All right. Chair people. Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're chair people, right?
Chair people like I'm bird people, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I'm assuming he's got 4 legs. He's made out of
like
wood,
I'm bird people, or you're horny all the time. Okay,
yeah, cool. Like, well, and then I like, not right now.
But you're always horny. Right, we know.
Oh yeah.
Very good. All right. Eventually, you are led in to, the door to Sun Sparrow's office swings open, and you are ushered inside. And you can see that there's sort of You're up perhaps on a bit of an upper floor. The grand window behind her, the sort of stained glass window behind her desk, looks out into the bay itself. Diffused through the light and through the colours of the stained glass, you can kind of make out the vessels and some of the flags of the Royal Navy ships there. Charles was not allowed to enter. He was not escorted in. He gets told to wait outside.
Unacceptable.
All right, I'll just say to Charles. Charles, just wait here for us, buddy. We'll come out and we'll tell you all about it.
He's been sitting down in a chair, or like you get up, he sits down in the chair, you vacate, and he's doing that thing that kids do where they're sitting too far back in the chair that their legs just kind of like dangle over the top. Yeah.
Yep.
And he's just kind of looking around in awe, probably never having been in such a quite nice room like this before.
Is there like any like steward or anything like that around by any chance?
Yeah.
I was like, is it possible to give him a tour? I mean, this is probably his first time. He's very loyal, he works down at the docks. I just thought it'd be nice to bring him along. I understand he can't come into this meeting with us, but can we do something special for him?
The lieutenant or whoever it is, or the colonel, like looks over at the rear admiral, and she just sort of waves as like, fine. And you see no, there's no eye rolling or anything like that. Like the attendant kind of just turns and walks up to him and says, like, we'll give you a tour. Like her word appears to be law in this building.
Amazing. Hell yeah. Love it. All right. You have fun, Charles. We'll see you in a bit.
And there you are in front of Rear Admiral Sunsparrow.
Hello, Rear Admiral. How are ya?
As the doors are closing as well, I'll be like, Charles, don't do anything I wouldn't do. And as he like goes to walk away, I'll drop my polymorph as well. Because he hasn't seen me as a devil.
Yeah. And the doors like just close. You see a shocked look on his face. Love that. Cool. She says, Captain Paulie, or am I led to believe sorely? As she kind of like holds up a piece of paper from her desk, glancing at it, then like putting it back down.
Yeah, that's my brother's name. Look, we were told, that Paulie's not really liked around these parts, which is what you're going to help me do, I believe.
Yes, well, that depends on how things panned out, I suppose. What do you have to report?
Well, Kinkner's dead. So's his wife, and pretty much all of the other fire giants are too.
And you brought proof of this?
Yep, we got his crown at the ship. Or maybe we can say we brought it with us. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like,
sure.
I don't know how big it was.
Fucking huge.
Yeah, it's almost like as big as a sash, or like a hula hoop for Yama, I guess. And if we're going to work together, Captain, I'm going to need more detail in that report.
Absolutely. So, look, we didn't find the bombard cannon. I do apologise. And trust me, if I had known where it was, it would be on the ship. I can assure you of that. It was nowhere in sight. There were some gnolls. They may be a problem, and more than happy to go deal with them when we need to as well. They were trying to make an alliance with the fire giants, which is not great. But once again, you can't really make an alliance if one party is dead. But yeah, the volcano exploded. I did send a passing Royal Navy ship to go check and see that we were correct in what we were doing. I told them everything. We are happy to be transparent in everything going forward.
What was the name of this vessel?
That's a very good point. I think I wrote it down, actually.
Paulie would definitely remember. Like, it was essentially earlier today, or like yesterday.
Yeah, I don't actually have it written down.
You tell her, I assume. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
She says, very well, I will corroborate that. Good job. And the smith.
We grabbed a dwarf. Wasn't the right dwarf. Other than that, no sight.
There were no other dwarves there.
Yes.
Interesting.
We did find some information about the Star Forge. Maybe if you were intrigued into that. And that seemed to kind of pertain that this dwarf was looking for said Star Forge. But definitely no dwarf, lava dwarf there.
Yes, he is another asset of ours that was seeking this forge and has gone missing. We've been unable to. We have not received any correspondence from him for some time. As such, we believed he had been taken by the fire giants. If you did not find him, and the stronghold has exploded as you say, perhaps at least his knowledge will not fall into enemy hands.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we tried to find him, no luck whatsoever. Lies through teeth.
Yeah. Very well. I believe you have upheld your end of the bargain, and I am pleased with this outcome. The missing bombard is not ideal, but we make do. You've proven yourself very capable, Captain, you and your officers.
You should have seen how awesome Yama was in the fight. I mean, it was just, wow, impressive.
Yama goes redder. That was possible.
We have been learning recently that the hobgoblin trained elite are incredibly tenacious.
Yeah, they definitely are. That's the thing. We can't really do much about them yet, but we'll be happy to help out if necessary.
Oh, there's no need. They're aiding us in. They're sending ships our way to aid in their peace.
Yes. Well, that's very good of them.
Well, Killian's just like, but doesn't really say anything.
Yeah. Now, I believe there was a discussion of a privateer contract and the whereabouts of a ship of yours.
That is correct, and that would be perfect. We are more than happy to help in any way.
Very well. Kate's computer crashed. That's all right. Yama just got too shy and is now just standing in the corner looking at the wall. Very well. Now, to the terms of this privateer contract, such as this mission you've undertaken, you will be sent from time to time instructions. In fact, we have a mission for you now, perhaps slightly less explosive. How are you at subtlety?
How subtle do you want?
Purely informational gathering.
Ooh, I'm good at that. Killian hypes.
Then I will let my amazing lieutenant take control of this one.
Very good. So she sort of pulls out, from the stack of papers on her desk, pulls out some papers. There's, similar to the one she gave you before, there is a writ of sort of a privateer contract.
Mm-hmm.
And she slides that over to you to have a look at. Now, you know more about these things than I do, Timmy, I should say. What would be in a typical privateer contract? Is it more just like, you will not attack our flag, these are the flags of the enemies?
You are authorized to attack any warring nations' ships and then take their goods as plunder with no repercussions, and in fact, you will be rewarded for taking down said ships.
Yeah.
In aid of the war effort.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's all in there in terms of, you notice that there's almost two separate documents. One is this person is is a privateer, private mercenary with their own ship, under the name Captain Sawley, of their ETC percentage.
Can it be Captain Paulie?
Sure. Captain Pauly, not to be confused with the pirate Captain Pauly of La Floridita.
Shit, what happens when we get the Florida?
Well, you don't look anything like him. We can just say that we stole the ship from the enemy.
True. I like that and respect that. Yeah, that's good.
And but in there is like clauses of like we at any time can kind of like disavow our working with you. This is not, you are not a full-time employee. You're not a member, of the noble houses. You're not a member of the military, complex. And your orders shall be given to you separately. You notice it's very absent on there of like who she wants you to target right now.
Sure. Yep.
And in fact, anyone who cares to kind of have a look over this and get a feel for it, give me an insight check.
Could I argue an investigation check as I pore over it?
I would absolutely allow that for contract law, which is right up a devilry kind of angle.
Yeah.
And Paulie has no thing. He's better sign this thing, I feel like, just before,
Yeah, no, Killian will like
yank it away
and be like, oh, and then like really flick it out so it's all there. Put his glasses on and really, really study this document with a investigation of a 16.
With a 16, you definitely think there's some stuff in here about like any enemies of the throne. It's all very like general language. It's very absent about mentioning who these enemies are.
Yeah, Killian would 100% bring.
And well, you probably piece together that the Royal Navy, in employing you, is not openly at war with the other groups in these islands, but that's why they're using you, right? Like this is
makes sense. Great, love it.
Yeah, Killian's gonna look at her and be like
so
this is what I'm gathering here is you want a bit of skullduggery, a bit of fuckery, if you will.
I would not use such terms, Master Tiefling, but
no, but I would.
I'm sure. Such colourful language. I would say plausible deniability.
Yes. Okay. Well, this part here about being able to just like cut us off if you're not happy with us, or if like at any moment, that rubs me a little bit strange. But like, I'd understand if it was in there under a clause of if we are captured, then you can completely disavow, you have nothing to do with us, you don't know who we are, sort of thing. Like, if that's fine, that's okay. But like, you could just turn around one day while we're out sailing and just be like, nope, no more, and then attack us. That seems a bit dangerous. Like, I'm all here for it. Like, that's whatever. But like, it just, I'm good at deals. So just trying to iron out, dot the T's and cross the I's, if you will.
You're making an excellent point. And she sort of draws your attention to the bay of warships that are in port and says, what would stop me from doing that anyway?
Oh, no, I'm not saying that anything would. I'm just saying that, like...
How about this? To make my sorcerer very happy, if you do plan to wizard, magic guy, how about with my magic guy?
My lawyer.
Like to make him, with my lawyer, yeah, my magic word guy. Happy. How about you give us a 7-day grace period? So if you are planning to disavow us, you give us a 7-day head start.
And I am happy to meet with any of if you have anyone trained in the arcane of distant communication. I'm happy to converse with them so that they can just reach out to me directly, or reach out to us directly and tell us.
We shall clarify the language then. You're right. Perhaps this is a sword of Damocles hanging above your head.
Yeah, we'd hate to like sail up to one of your ships to report something to them, and then they just open fire on us. Like that's no good for anybody. No one's gonna have fun then.
Absolutely. And we shall word it so that you are operating on our behalf, yet if you attack if you are caught in the act of attacking anyone who is a citizen in good standing of the Iron Throne, then that protection is rescinded. Of course, between you and I, there are some people who don't yet know that they are no longer in good standing.
Do you have a way for us to check if whether they're in good standing or not?
You're in a safe bet currently on anyone flying the red, anyone in the Navy, of course. At the moment, my attention turns to the central tribes of Aurora, and in fact, that brings us to our next level of business. Since the borders have opened and new merchants have been coming in, the humble folk of the islands have been welcoming people in, which is great. Very rural, very homely. We have intelligence that leads us to believe a sort of a sailor's moot or a smuggler's moot is coming together. A number of captains of ill repute may be gathering together to unify in strength against authority.
Hey Dan, can I perk up at this and then you say the name? Is it okay? All right. I just was like, wait, are you talking about BootyCon?
Our intelligence calls it Booty Fest, but if
it's definitely BootyCon. I know BootyCon. I've been wanting to go to BootyCon since I was a little hatchling.
It seems you are familiar with this.
I am pumped. We are going to BootyCon.
Very well. You will go to this BootyCon. And
I would like to say just before this, for us to attend such a gathering, we can't show up in but a humble merchant ship. We must track down our dear captain's ship beforehand. At least it looks somewhat of the part.
And here's where I am. You'll realize, Master Tiefling, that we have excellent resources of intelligence. And she'll slide like another piece of paper over to you. Here is a report from one of our scouts that one of the pirate captains that will be in attendance is Captain Paulie of La Floridita.
Oh, fantastic. Where is this moot going to be held? I'm assuming we're going to be given a mission briefing or a mission packet of some sort.
Indeed, I'll organize for one of my scribes will have a packet for you. Suffice to say, what I want to know is who of note has attended, any anti-authority discussions that take place, and which of the if there are any of the locals who aren't just engaged in sort of mercantilism, if there's any sort of ringleaders of the group, I want you to bring me their names and details of them and their ships.
So just to clarify, you don't want their heads?
Not yet. I want to know what they're planning and what they're organizing. I don't want you to reveal yourselves too soon.
Okay, that's fair enough. Also, one other question that I do have, because once we're clearly going to take back our dear captain's ship, and we're going to end up bringing that ship back to port. I was wondering, so instead of a flag to identify us, do your arcane, the arcane people, soldiers within your scholars, whatever you want to call them, within the Navy's employ, are they able to deploy sort of a rune or a sigil or something above the ship to identify between other ships? And if so, who can I speak to about learning that? Because if we have to abandon a ship for whatever reason, we may not have time to grab an identifying flag. And if there's something that I can just cast and show,
I'm sure if you can create an illusion or some sort of flare that is a close approximation to your flag that you'll be flying, that we have registered, or that we'll register in our records, and we'll disseminate that flag to the captains of our ships, then I'm sure, and you don't put up any resistance when being hailed and boarded, then I'm sure that there won't come any miscommunication on that part. So I'll need you, before you leave, to submit what your flag will be that you'll fly under, and I hope that I don't have to say this, but perhaps not using that flag when undergoing
oh yeah, of course,
missions that are perhaps clandestine in nature.
Absolutely. When we're doing clandestine missions for the Navy, how about we fly the black?
Sounds perfect.
Okay, and then I'll look at Paulie and be like, we should make our flag a fireball, because then if we lose the flag, I can just throw a fireball into the sky.
Paulie is just daydreaming about BootyCon right now. Absolutely just being like, and I heard there was a little treasure, like there's a pirate ship ride that swings in the sky, and
and then does that sound good to you, Captain?
what?
Yeah, look, I think okay. So what I was saying, Captain, is our flag is going to be a fireball.
No.
I just figured it'd be easier, because then if we lose it, I can just throw a fucking fireball, you know?
We will discuss this. We will discuss this, not in front of the Rear Admiral. Okay?
She needs our flag before we leave.
Not leave port.
Oh, okay. I misunderstood. My bad. Admiral, well, anyway, I did have one other thing two things to tell you. One thing, not super actually quite pressing. Those guys in the Navy office down the street.
Oh my god. No, okay. Thank you very
Not
much,
very
Rear Admiral.
but
Thank you very much.
another
Sorry,
thing.
his other nickname is
I'm just
Carillion.
going to I'm going to polymorph Paulie into a snail.
Oop.
Does he get to resist
and
that?
then
Are you actually polymorphing?
Yeah, he can roll. He can roll for it. Yeah, absolutely. Because the next thing is actually somewhat important.
You get a +3 from me, Captain.
How do I resist it? What do I resist?
You need a wisdom save of 19.
It's not going to happen.
You get,
I mean,
you get a
might.
+3 from the paladin, maybe.
Oh my god, I did get it! 19!
Yes, suck
Amazing
it.
Plus 3.
We're like, anyway, Paulie, shut up for a second. This is actually about dragons.
So
the-
hold on. Let's give him a chance to react here that you have just cast
Yeah,
a
yeah,
spell upon
absolutely.
him. So,
Yeah.
Paulie, you feel yourself like start to shape change. He's obviously. I assume you would have had to pull out your tome to do this, Killian?
No, because I have shape changer. I can cast it at will.
Okay, very good. So it's not your spell; it's the transmutation thing that you have. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's cool. I just wanted to see if you're effectively pulling out a weapon in the presence of the Rear Admiral.
No. I thought that through.
No.
So you point at Paulie, and a zap of magic comes from your fingers. Paulie, it hits
I
you.
actually like touch him,
You-
like on the
okay.
shoulder.
Yeah, and say,
Fuck, I've got to
chill.
be mean to you now.
Paulie, you feel your shape start to get a bit smaller, but then the sort of light and radiance of Yama helps you resist it. What is your reaction?
Fucking not good, to be honest. Not fucking good at all. Paulie snaps, absolutely snaps at Kelly and goes, "That is enough! You listen to your captain when we have a conversation. I said we leave it at that. You don't leave it at that. Leave now and we will meet you back outside."
All right, cool. When the dragons blow everything up, it's on you, not me. And I
Out.
walk out.
I apologize for my like one of my members being outburst in that situation. That was not appropriate.
She kind of looks to you two and then sees like Killian kind of walking away. And I think Killian, like as you leave, you see her like, reach out like and write, and it kind of looks like she's writing dragons ? Like she's definitely heard what you've said.
Yeah.
But like maybe not the full scope of what you were trying to convey. But she says, Captain, I would, for this relationship to be profitable on all our parts, we follow a strict code of rank and hierarchy. Get your crew under control.
Noted. Next time we will make sure that is the case.
Very good.
Paulie's shitty.
Cool. All right. Is there any other like matters you want to discuss with her? As Killian, perhaps you join the tour with Charles.
Oh no, I walk
out.
back down to the ship.
Okay. Yeah, you walk out. Sure.
All right. That is it. No, thank you, Rear Admiral. We will discuss after BootyCon. Thank you for the report on La Floridita. From there, we will talk more.
Yeah. Once we receive your report, she slides it like a small satchel to you with there's probably like 50 gold in there or something for any
Expenses.
Yeah, expenses and bribes and so on that you may require to maintain your cover as a to maintain your or to undergo the cover of being a pirate. Maybe you'll need to dress up the ship or something. I don't know. And trying to think what else. Oh, yeah, we'll be in touch with any further requests or instructions. If you, in the meantime, if you do come across any other Emerald Trading Company merchant vessels, you have my permission to raise the black, and we will send through information on where you can send a percentage of those spoils.
Paul has like a little, Paul has a slight smile and goes, absolutely. We will talk more.
For the good of the realm.
Absolutely, for the good of the realm.
And she says, please, don't let me detain you.
No detain necessary. Thank you very much. I believe.
Yep.
Straight away, as we walk at the door, Yama, you need to talk to Killian about that, because it will not be good coming from me, but we cannot show the Admiralty any weakness, and even though we run a loose ship, it must be tight in front of them.
Don't worry, Captain. I definitely understand adhering to certain appearances in front of leadership.
Better coming from you.
Yeah, I can sit him down for some tea.
Perfect. Thank you very, very much.
All right. Is there anything else you want to do in town?
I'll pick up Charles on the way. I want to hear about his tour.
Yeah. Yeah, he tells you, he gets all excited, like they took him to the armory, and like there was like all these mannequins with armor on them, and big portraits of different captains he got to see. And they took him to the stables, and like there was a really nice horse that he met, and just so he goes on and on.
Perfect, great. I feel like that's just the conversation the whole way back. I'm all for it. Paulie is just like animatedly enjoying the conversation with him. He's like, "Really? What was the horse's name?"
God damn you. The horse's name was Nanane. Nanane the horse.
That's nice. Did you give Nanane an apple?
Oh yeah, we gave we gave them some sugar cubes as well.
Even better.
Yeah. Cool. What I'll do is, because we're getting close to the end of this session, between this week and next week, you can come to me with like any other sort of shopping, and we can work out sort of prices. And Yama, I know you wanted to sort of get some adjustments on the shield. We can work on that between sessions. We'll kind of do that offline. And any kind of shopping we wanted to do. And where we'll pick up next week is we'll do a bit of this sort of like downtime stuff. And I also want to give you a bit of a glimpse, like a next week on Battlestar Galactica. As your ship glides into the bustling harbour of BootyCon, your senses are immediately overwhelmed by the sights, sounds, and smells of the vibrant pirate festival unfolding before you. The docks are packed with ships of all shapes and sizes, their masts adorned with colourful flags fluttering in the sea breeze. From the decks of the anchored vessels, you catch glimpses of sailors and pirates alike mingling with locals and revellers, their laughter and shouts of excitement carrying across the water. The town itself is a riot of colour and activity, with makeshift stalls and bustling marketplaces lining the cobblestone streets. The air is thick with the scent of spices and cooked foods, intermingling with the briny tang of the sea. The sound of music fills the air, the lively tunes of fiddles and drums blending with the raucous laughter of the crowd. Everywhere you look, there are games and contests to partake in. Gladiator pits ringed with cheering spectators, tests of strength where burly sailors vie for bragging rights, even cup shuffle tables where the nimble-fingered try their luck. There's target shooting for those with steady aim, pin the tail on the merfolk for the daring, and ring toss for the skillful. There's even bumper turtles racing around a makeshift track, while Guess the Mimic challenges your wits. For those seeking a more leisurely diversion, there are carriage rides that resemble small ships winding their way through the bustling streets amidst a parade of colourful floats. Amidst the revelry, a mix of islanders and sailors from all corners of the realm mingle and celebrate, united in their love of adventure and their promise of treasure that hangs in the air. Welcome to BootyCon, where the spirit of piracy reigns supreme and the festivities never end.
Damn it.
I'm excited for BootyCon.
So I'm going to share with you so you can have a look at it ahead of next week and get sort of a bit of an idea. I'm also open to adding more stuff to this. I have a
list of headliners.
I have a list of BootyCon festivities that you can partake in.
It's been so long since we've been to a festival.
That's right. Try not to steal the watch of the owner or whatever, of the mayor of the festival.
Love the docks.
So there's all sorts of things. There's a lot of carnival things that have tickets. With those tickets, you can roll on a table to get, trinkets and stuff. And we'll deal all with that next week. And I'll probably add some more cool things in here. And I love the idea of coming up with band names for the different headliners. So if you want to help me with that, I think that'd be great as well. I think, what was it? I think one of them was going to be like, Panic on the foredeck, instead of Panic
on the
Disco.
poop deck.
It's something like that. I think some headliner names would be great. So in chat, I think Maddie was here. You know a lot of emo band names as well. I would love sort of piratey or merfolk based ideas for those. Please send them through. Anything else we want to cover off before we kind of call it a night a little bit early?
I'm excited for BootyCon.
Oh, good.
Mm-hmm. Killian, if you want, you have an opportunity. If you wanted to send a letter to the Rear Admiral directly, that is certainly an option that you could undertake if you wish. Obviously, we'll perhaps organize as well. Have a chat offline. How we're going to have this chat as well. How Yama and Killian will have a bit of a chat and work out how that'll resolve. And we'll perhaps start with that next week and then get straight into BootyCon.
BootyCon.
Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right.
Hell
We'll be back
yeah.
next week with BootyCon, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.